Hello and welcome to History Through Question.
Today's topic is GIC lecture हिस्ट्री लास्ट ईयर्स क्वेश्चन पेपर हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं और उसमें काफी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस डिस्कस हो चुके हैं। आगे के जो रिमेनिंग क्वेश्चंस है वो हम डिस्कस करेंगे एंड दिस इज अबाउट मी। टुडेज टॉपिक इज GIC lecturer history last year's question. Start with the 81st question and it says that there is a mention of Rigvedic god. Okay, so you have to identify the correct inscriptions. Where is the mention of Rigvedic gods found? So here the correct answer will be D. So on the phonology of the language of the Avesta, some scholars were under the impression that the date of the Rig Veda might be possibility of 1000 BC, but at the same time, the Vedic god names such as Indra, Varuna, Mitra, and the two Nasatyas, they were already mentioned in the Bogoskoi inscriptions, and this Bogoskoi inscriptions was also known as the Asia Minor inscription. And the time period of this inscriptions goes back to 1400 BC. So on that basis, it was proved that Rig Veda must have been came into existence much before its existing time periods, that was the 1000 BC. Okay. Next question is 82. What is the correct chronological sequence of the following events? Started first, Cripps Mission, Gandhi-Irwin Pact, Simon Commissions, and the partition of the country. You have to arrange them chronologically. So before that, we discussed one by one. Starting with the Simon Commission. Simon Commission was also known as the Indian Statutory Commission, also known as the Simon Commissions. What exactly is a commission? So it's a group of 7 members of the parliaments under the chairmanship of Sir John Simon. That's why this commission was known as the Simon Commission, because its chairman was Sir John Simon. Sir John Simon was later the first Viscount Simon as well. This commission arrived in British India in the year 1928. And what was its objective? So its objective is to study the constitutional reforms that was the need of the hour in the Britain largest and most important possessions. Okay, and one of its member was the future leader of the Labour Party, that is the Clement Attlee. So make sure it's an actual question. Please do remember this information. That is the Clement Attlee, which later became the leader of the Labour Party, was one of its members who became committed to the self-government for India. Okay. Next, we talk about the Cripps Mission. So here the Cripps Mission, it was sent by the British government to India in the March 1942. Why this mission was sent? This mission was sent in order to obtain the India's cooperations for the British war efforts, because at that time Second World War was going on and India's cooperation was the need of the hour and the British government looking for the sense. It was headed by the Sir Richard Stafford Cripps. That's why this mission name is Cripps Mission. Cripps was a labor minister in the Winston Churchill coalition government in Britain. Next is the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Now this Gandhi-Irwin Pact is a name given to a political agreement. So the pact indicates it's an agreement. And this agreement was concluded by Mahatma Gandhi on the one hand, M.G. Gandhi on the one hand, and the Lord Irwin on the other hand. Lord Irwin at that time was the Viceroy of India, and this agreement was signed on 5th of the March 1931. One more factual information associated with this, that is the second RTC. RTC stands for Round Table Congress. It was to be held in 1931 at London. Okay, so next and the last is the partition of the country. The partition of the country happened in the year 1947. Okay, and resulted in the divisions of the British India into 2 independent dominion states, that is the Union of India and the Dominion of Pakistan. Okay, with this, here the correct answer will be, that is the D. 3214 is the correct sequence for this question. It is the question, which of the following Gupta rulers conquered the Hunas या फिर Huns? So here the correct answer is C, Skandgupta. By the 5th century AD, if we saw, Hunas became a powerful force in the Central Asia. So they made their strong foot in the Central Asia and started proceeding towards the India. At the same time, they occupied the Gandhara region that was located in the northwest region, and Skandgupta, who however gave them a crushing defeat, and Skandgupta defeated Hunas in the year 460 AD. So that with the defeat of the Hunas, Skandgupta checked the advance into India for nearly next 50 years. Next question is 84. Adi Shankara, who later became the Shankaracharya, was born in which area or which state? So here the correct answer will be D, that is the Kerala. Let's discuss important point with reference to Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara started a Hindu revivalist movement. He was born in Kaladi in Kerala, and his doctrine was, or he advocated the doctrine of monoism or Advaita Vedanta. Here the Advaita stands for, or it's a concept of Nirguna Brahmana. Nirguna Brahman. In simple words, we can say that God without attributes. God without attributes, and he received contradictory reactions with the emergence of the idea of Saguna Brahmana, that is the God with the attributes. Okay, so God without attributes is the Nirguna. In the idea of Saguna Brahman, that is the God with attribute. Next question 85. Who among the following was the first great royal patron of the Buddhism? Okay, so here the correct answer is the Ashoka, and it's a well established facts we already discussed in length and width in earlier questions. Next question is 86. Chachanama is a book describing the history in which state? Okay, so here the correct answer will be B, Sen. Let's discuss the important point with reference to Chachanama. Chachanama has been traditionally read as an oldest history of Sindh. It was written in 13th century. It's a 13th century work, and it's basically a translation of the historical accounts of the events that occurred in the 8th century. So although it was written in the 13th century, but it talks about an events that happened in the 8th century. At the same time, Ali Kufi, who wrote this book, dedicates the text to then governor of the Multan, that is the Nasiruddin Kubacha. Nasiruddin Kubacha. Next question 87. According to the excavated evidence, animal husbandry was started. So here various periods are there. Lower Paleolithic periods were there, or sorry, lower Pre-Lithic period was there, Middle East Stone Age was there, Upper Early Stone Age was there, and Mesolithic and the Neolithic. So you have to choose the correct answer. Here the correct answer will be D. The Mesolithic populations, as they are slowly basically increasing, and they are adopting the animal husbandry and agriculture way of life in order to survive themselves. At the same time, it took thousands of years in the Neolithic periods before they adopted the full-fledged animal husbandry. Okay. 88. The earliest evidence of agriculture is found in, we have to choose the correct answer. Here the correct answer will be C, Loharadeva. Let's see Loharadeva in detail. Loharadeva is a Neolithic site or Neolithic culture, and especially we talk about here the Vindhya Ganga Valley. So Neolithic culture of Vindhyas Ganga Valley. So Loharadeva, here the earlier excavated remains from the Adabgarh rock shelter sites are found. At the same time, if we reconstruct the stages of Neolithic of Vindhya sites, Loharadeva confirms the cultivation of rice. So here we found the evidence of earliest cultivation of rice, which in turn the earliest evidence of agriculture at that place. And this site was located in the Ganga plain. And it was not the only place where the earliest evidence of cultivation of rice, earliest evidence of agriculture found. In that period, that is a Neolithic culture of India, Ganga Valley, we found another place, that is the Belan Valley, where we also found the earliest evidence of agriculture.